All right, you all. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to EdTech Tuesdays with ATMs and Friends. Today's topic, lesson planning lemonade squeeze, a lesson with ease. All right. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Pernell Allen. I'm the Alabama Technology and Motion Specialist located at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, UAB. Go Blazers. That's my contact information right there. If you need to get in contact with me, both emails I do respond to. However, I'm not as active as I used to be on Twitter, X, Twix, whatever you like to call it. But if you're on social media and you use hashtag ATMPD, if you enjoy this session or any session provided by ATMs. The university to the left are where other ATM specialists and the regional in-service centers are located across the state. Region 5 serves the following LEAs. That's Alabama Aerospace and Aviation, Bessemer, Birmingham, Empower Community, Freedom Prep, Fairfield, I3 Academy, Independence Prep, Jefferson County, Leeds, Legacy Prep, Magic City Acceptance Academy, Midfield, Tarrant, and Trustfield City Schools. After today's session, we only have 2 sessions left for this school year. Wow, this seems to have gone by fast. But if you haven't signed up, you can sign up for those remaining dates. And if you have, please share the link with your colleagues. If you haven't had the opportunity to listen to Tim Talks, that's our podcast hosted by Andrew Clark and myself, where we try to highlight the different innovation works going on in schools and districts statewide. While we also showcase ATIM, we want to highlight other state initiatives as well and let you know some of those resources and programs that they can provide and bring to your school or school district. Our latest 2 episodes of Tim Talks include episode 22, Tech Innovation with Jefferson County STEM Pop-Ups, and that was with Delfrida Coleman and Charlie Wigley. And then our one latest episode, which is episode 23, is Building Alabama Futures with Kindergarten Curiosity to Career Pathways. And that voice on that particular one is Amanda Dykes, who is the Alabama State Department of Education Computer Science Specialist. You can listen to Tim Talks on Spotify, Amazon, or Apple Podcasts. Please consider joining us during this event, which is the Computer Science Summit. The CS Summit, as it's known as, will be in Montgomery on April 13th. Also, consider joining us for our Alabama Educational Technology Conference, which is AETC. This year's theme is Learning Without Limits. It'll be hosted in Huntsville, Alabama, June 15th to the 19th. Topics range from DLCS integration, AI practices, assistive technology, robotics, everything technology integration. So please consider joining us. And then another conference we have is the Mega Conference, which will be in Mobile, Alabama. So we have something Central, North, and South Alabama for you to join us with everything PD. And at this time, without any further ado, I would introduce to some and present to others my sensei, colleague, friend, and Albie's best friend, Carol Foster. Carol, it's all yours.
Okay, Pernell, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm excited. I've had fun getting this presentation together. So my hope for you is to learn something new today. You should be able to see my screen and you will have access to the presentation. And of course, like always, there are embedded presentations within this presentation. And I'm going to show you several ways that you can share through Canva today. But the one way that I really want you to grab is that QR code that I'm going to share with you in just a minute. So this is all about lesson planning and doing it efficiently and effectively. And then Pernell already introduced our team to you, so we will move on. I'm Carol Foster from Auburn University, War Eagle, and I hope that you learned something new today. And everything that we're going to talk about today can be applied from K through 12, so don't worry. Even if I know the people that always get left out, math teachers and PE teachers, you're going to learn something too, or how to use a tool. So as we're going through different things, I want you to think of ways that you can use what we're talking about in your subject area. And then, of course, at Auburn, we know a thing or two about lemonade. And actually, these pictures was actually what inspired me to come up with this. And I just really had a great time with it and using AI to help me with some things. And it is amazing what AI can do. And you'll see that throughout the presentation. All right, so right now I want you don't have to click on the screen. I just want you to pick a number in your head, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And this is a strategy that I love to do with my adult participants. And I love to see some of the things that you're going to say. So you got that number in your head? We're going to go to the chat, and I want you to give me the answer of the question that you will see by the number that you chose. Number 1, if you could have a thumb-sized version of any animal, which animal would you choose? What is a useless superpower you'd actually love to have? Number 3, if you could choose a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would it be? And 4, if you had to be named after a fruit, what would your new name be? So put your answer in the chat and you can put a 1 in front of it so we know which question that you answered, and I will leave this up on the screen. Mm, these are funny. Banana, for banana. Shining Star by Earth, Wind, and Fire is the song. I figured my song would be something by Taylor Swift, and I'm like, I know what it would be. It did something bad. But why does it feel so good? Oh. And my favorite question, and especially to ask kids, is if you had a thumb-sized version of any animal, what animal would you choose? And so many kids, even adults, will pick the animals that are already the size of your thumb, like ant or snail. And I'm thinking, think bigger than that. If I could have a great whale in a fishbowl, I would absolutely have that. Thank you so much for participating. I love to read all of your answers, and I hope you're taking a chance to do that too. The man from the Gillers. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me move some of these prompts that says this is being recorded. So I just want to give a little disclaimer that use Zest practices for being safe online. We like to choose tools that we know that are tried and true and that we use and that we love. So I want you to think about those privacy and safety guidelines at your school and make sure that you are going through the proper channels in order to use any of the websites that we are showing you and make sure that it meets the guidelines and privacy restrictions at your school. So we want to keep our kids safe, and normally the ones that we use have already been vetted through many sources. So one we're going to talk about a lot today is Canva, and I know for sure that that one is vetted, and most of our schools in the state of Alabama are Canva for Education schools. So just keep that in mind. And of course, any opinions, anything is my own and that lemon on the screen. I do want to share with you, I always like to throw little nuggets of things that you may not know. So I'm using Canva for this presentation. And with Canva, you can use these shortcut buttons to, when you're in presentation mode, you have to be in presentation mode. I can set a timer just by pressing 3 and then hit play, and I can choose to use music or not. And I can do the same thing 0 through 9. Okay, so I can do a 1-minute timer, a 2-minute timer, a 3-minute timer. To get rid of it, you just press the same number and it will go away. I can also press B and blur my screen. Press it again to unblur. Q for quiet. And hopefully you can hear the sounds that it's making. I'm pretty sure you probably can.
I don't think you shared it, Carol. When we see it, I didn't hear it.
All right, so let's see how we do that. Oh, do I have to go to Zoom?
Yeah, go back to like your share, and when you hit share, you
Why,
should see.
why is that
share
a
stuff.
thing? Like,
I
who
don't
wants
know.
to share a screen without sharing the sound? Makes no sense. All right, so it is not there.
That's okay. But yeah,
There we go. Audio. MacBook. I don't know which one it's supposed to be on.
but you have multiple. It usually just says share sound, but if you own a Mac, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, wait, it might be this, you think? Can you hear it? Can you hear my, nope.
No, not if anything is playing right now. No,
Can you hear that?
just you.
I don't know. Oh, wait, this might do it. Well, Pernell, I'm at a loss.
It's okay. I was just gonna say if you maybe stop sharing, then come back in and share again, you may see that option if you don't see it now. But if
All
not,
right. If
no
y'all
worry.
don't mind, you mean leave completely
No,
or just
no, 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 no,
share?
no. Just
Okay,
stop sharing.
stop share. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Technology, people don't know how to use technology. I don't think it does it. Oh,
No.
oh, share sound.
There you go.
That just makes me a little aggravated. Okay, here we go. Now I'm back to business. So Q for quiet. And my screen doesn't want to work. All right, let's try again. There we go.
We hear it.
You can hear it now, can't you?
Yeah.
So C is for confetti, O is for bubble. And these would be good little reminders for your littles. This would be really cool for virtual classes. I love the curtain call if you want to keep your slides private until, and then you want some dramatic something. Or what? I did the wrong one. It is you. And then to open the curtains, press U. M for microphone. And then X closes that out. So those are just little fun things. Now, this is what I want you to grab. So you can open your camera and you'll see a yellow prompt that will open it in Canva or Google. This is now going to land in your Canva shared with me under projects. You can also write down HTTPS albie.ie/lemonade. That is Auburn University's Albie extension or URL shortener. And I'm going to leave it for about 10 more seconds. And then Pernell, if you'll put that in the chat.
Okay, I got you.
So this is one way to share through QR code, through a QR code or a URL shortener. But I'm going to show you some other ways that you can also share. Canva now has a classroom, and it is a little bit of a learning curve, but you can assign things to students and make comments on it and return it to them. It doesn't quite work like Google Classroom, but I'm going to show you later this afternoon. Okay, so we're going to look at some frameworks and talk about those and hopefully see those in action. We're going to learn some new things that Canva can do, including magic activities and Canva forms. We're going to talk about how to prompt, and we're going to learn how to code using Canva. And we're also going to leave with plenty of knowing where to find plenty of templates, already done lesson plans. I'm going to show you how to make lesson plans just at a click of a button. And then I'm going to show you a few of the sites that I have on my agenda for the future to learn how to use that I have not had time to play with, but I want to also share those with you. And this summer, all of the ATMs will have their own professional development, and we can share that with you on our ATM website that Pernell shared earlier. Maybe they can talk about it on the podcast. I'm sure they already have. And the things that I'm going to focus on this summer are School AI, CurryPod, and Notebook LM, which is a Google tool. So the frameworks that we're just going to briefly look at, because I know y'all probably know all about these, is Webb's Depth of Knowledge, Bloom's Taxonomy, the 5E model, and then we're going to also talk about parts prompting, and we're going to take a look at the ALEX and Alabama Standards website just for a second. We're not going to spend too much time on any of these so we can get to the good stuff. But we all know, I think we were all taught Bloom's taxonomy, but it's still the one that I reference a lot just because I love the creating part, and that is the thinking skills, your higher order thinking skills, your critical thinking. So we want to teach between applying and analyzing, right? And with Webb's depth of knowledge, it basically, I love to tell teachers that you should visit 1 and 4, because 1 basically is that foundational skill, your vocabulary, things like that. And your 4s are your extended learnings. So why use Webb's depth of knowledge and Bloom's taxonomy? Webb's helps teachers ensure that they aren't just giving busy work. So I like to say live in 1 and 4 and visit 2 and 3. So I believe that if you were being observed and you were doing any skills that covered 2 and 3, you would be perfect. But also, don't forget, Magic School can help you if you're having trouble with any of the Webb's depth of knowledge skill sets. And with Bloom's taxonomy, why use it? It can help you scaffold through your learning. You're going from lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skills. You can't be in that creation and evaluating stage every day. So again, I like to say to visit creating and evaluating, understanding and remembering, but live in applying and analyzing. Okay, this model is the 5 E's. Lots of science people or science teachers, I guess I should say, use the 5 E's. And they are to engage, explain, explore, which is always my favorite part, having kids explore, elaborate, and evaluate. And this model is making sure that our content, our pedagogy, everything that we're doing is student centered. Which, when I was a teacher, I taught fourth grade for 16 years. That was what I did. I was a student centered teacher. My students really drove our learning in the classroom, and I was the facilitator. They went home tired. Well, I did too, but they were probably more tired than I was, just because my classroom was a student-centered learning. And I tried to make sure that lesson planning, that I had the best lesson plans, and I didn't put that image in, but the 4 C's: critical thinking, creativity. What are the other two? Computational thinking, and there's one more: communication. If I've learned anything, communicating is is it. Learn how to communicate with your students and teach your students how to communicate. And I say that because when you're using AI, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, it is about communication. And really, that's all it is communication. You're learning how to speak to an AI chatbot. So I like to mention that when students have the opportunity to use chatbots, the first thing teachers say is, "Oh my gosh, my kids will what?" What do they say? Put it in the chat. Yes, they say they're cheating, they're gonna cheat. Oh my gosh, another thing that they can cheat with. They said that about the calculator, they said that about the internet. Now they're saying it about AI. Oh my gosh, the kids are going to cheat. But what if it is not about cheating? What if it's about good communication? What if it's about good questioning? Because in order to have a conversation with a chatbot, you have to know something, right? So I always say it's about communicating and it is about questioning. So if you do let your students use AI, and there are some that you could use and some that are probably frowned upon, but especially the ones that have the AI model inside, like Magic School and like School AI, you can actually see their conversation, and you could see, what they're thinking, why they're asking those questions. So having these tools at our fingertips is absolutely amazing. I wish that I had AI when I was in the classroom, because we would have been dangerous with AI helping us out. But I'm that teacher that loved lesson planning, and I know some people are like, "Ew, gross," but that was me. I was a lesson planner, and I loved doing it. All right, let's move along. So, the teacher tip for those 3 models is to think of blooms as the ingredients, think of DOK as the concentration, and think of the 5 E's as the method of mixing it all together to make the perfect learning opportunity, or learning lemonade. All right, so quickly, and I wanted you to have access to this, and I know most everyone knows about Alex and Alabama Standards. Both of these will take you to basically the same place. But Alex, I know in the past that teachers have said, "I can't find anything there." But they have come such a long way, and we have people working with Alex that are a part of our team that are doing such an amazing job. They have a new website and they are basically unpacking the standards for you. They're building lesson plans. There is going to be an entire conference, a pre-conference about Alex and helping design lessons. It's a good way. I think they still, Pernell, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they do actually offer money, a little stipend if you
Yeah.
want to. Not for us, unfortunately, but for teachers, you can contact Alex and I think you can get paid to send in lessons. Now, I ain't saying you're going to get rich doing it. It's definitely a place that you can go. So within Alex and Alabama standards, there are all of your standards electronically. We used to have binders when I was in the classroom, but all of the new, you can even see the draft of the brand new digital literacy and computer science standards that we're going, I think it's been adopted. We're going through the process now of unpacking the standards for you and designing lessons that you can teach. So let's pick one. I'm just going to choose science and I'm going to grab, I taught fourth grade. So let's say, I'm just going to grab this standard. And even when you click on it, it gives you the content unpacked. It tells you the teacher vocabulary that you need to know, what the student knowledge will be, the skills that the students should be able to do when they're finished, and what they should understand about this standard. I love that it has all of that kind of already unpacked. It will also give you content that is aligned to those items. But I like, my favorite thing is this little button right here. I'll go grab the standard, click this button, and now it is on my invisible clipboard and I am ready to paste that joker into any AI that I want to use. Okay. All right. So remember when I told you to grab that QR code or grab that link? This is a form and you can actually click on this and it's going to send me real data. So tell me how you're feeling today. Are you sour or are you feeling sweet? So click which one you are, sour to sweet, and hit submit. And you should probably see something on your screen of what everyone else said. It's not showing up on my screen because I have the data it's sending the data to a spreadsheet. Okay, and here's the next one that I want you to do. Now, while you're doing that, I'm just gonna talk. I want you to think about when you would use this, why you would use this, and think about, would you use it over another platform? Let's say Google Forms. Would you use this over Google Forms? I have two answers to that question. One is if I'm collecting data and it's something like maybe a request or a proposal to do PD for this summer, and I have a lot of data to record, I'm probably not going to use this Canva form. I'm going to go with Google Forms because I'm more familiar with it. Other teachers are familiar with it. It's my go-to, and I'm still going to use Google Forms no matter what. I would use Canva if I'm just wanting to get a real quick status of the class. It may be something like this. How did you feel about the lesson today? Did you get it? Did you not get it? All the things. But I collected a little bit of data from you, and if you haven't finished yet, that's okay. And now I'm going to show you, I left the instructions there just so you will have something to go back to. But I do want to show you, hopefully it worked. I'm going to go out of the presentation and I'm going to click on, you have to click on it and watch around underneath the name of the presentation, and you see all be up there. Underneath that, you see animate, position, 5 seconds, whatever that means, and the color. When you click on it, watch that toolbar. It says edit and responses. So I can go in here and see everyone's responses. And if I can link it to a sheet, or I can just simply view the responses. Okay. So on here, I see that somebody has the SADs. So I'm going to want to visit that person today. And I'm going to want to check in with them and say, I saw that you're a one, and tell me what's going on. And it's a great way to get a real quick status of the class. And now when you click on edit, this is how the teacher can change the questions. And this one was just simply one that is already in Canva. And I just added the lemons. Everything else was there. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. I'm going to move to the next one so you can see this data. I click on it and that changes to edit and responses. This time I'm going to hit responses, and instead of viewing the responses just on my screen, maybe I ask information that I need in order to create field trip cards or field trip name tags or whatever. Like, who are you? Are you bringing a lunch? Are you buying a lunch? Who's coming with you? What bus are you on? Whatever it may be. And I need to print this. So I'm going to link it to a Canva sheet. And notice that all of this information comes in straight to Canva Sheets. Canva Sheets may be new to you. And just a real quick plug, we do have a Canva for Education PLU. Get in touch with your ATEM specialist if you would like to schedule one for your district. But it's become like one of my favorite things is using Canva Sheets. Now, we're not going to talk about Canva Sheets much today, but I did want to show you the two ways that you can collect that data. You also have these quick action buttons. This is your AI features, and this is what you need to play around with, because you can really get some good stuff with Canva Sheets. Okay, so how do you do that? I'm going to open a new, it's been a long day. What's that called? A slide, yes. And to get to the forms that are already there, you go to Elements, okay? And then once you are in Elements, if I hadn't been looking for lemons, it would come up to the regular page, which let's see. And I had it on graphics. Let's see, where am I? All right, something is acting crazy here.
Hit the X on graphics when you go back in, Carol. See if that'll take it off. You see the look? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Pernell. My God, what would I do without you? All right, so if you click down here and it's changed again, oh my God. Why is mine missing? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Just see if you can type it in then.
Well, they're there, but normally you see the little icon buttons. Maybe I just wasn't on the right, I don't know. Anyway, if you click here, you've got forms that are already created for you. And if you want to use any of these forms, you can just click on them, put them in the slide. And then once you have clicked on it and you see the handles around the image, you go to edit. And this is where you can start changing the content. So are you coming? You might want to change this to, will you be there? And then absolutely can't make it this time. So you can go through, you can add options, and then these are the kinds of options that you can add. And this is what I used for the mood meter. The mood check was just one that was already there. Okay. And again, there are the instructions on how to do that. All right. So the next thing, we're going to talk about some AI. And when it's time to start lesson planning in the chat, how do you feel? Like, do you want to stir something in that lemonade? It's going to take forever. And I'm talking about Splenda. Duh. Okay, so you're going to spend some time on creating lesson plans. So I'm going to, again, in just a second, jump out of this so I can go to Canva and show you. And then I'm hoping that you are in another tab and playing around with this yourself. But before that,
Now I'm going to have to go online and look at turtles.
because that's what I would do. As soon as I get online, I forget why I got there and ADD takes over and I start looking at something else. Dogs, turtles, you name it. All right. So before I show you not Google, Canva Docs, I want to talk to you about prompting. And this is probably my favorite prompting structure, and it's Google's version of prompt engineering. And the reason I like it is because it's easy to remember. Like the persona, when you're asking a chatbot, you need to say, I need you to take the place of, I need you to be a, like, what is the persona? I need you to be a teacher. What is your aim or your goal? Who are your recipients? Who are you sending this to? What kind of theme are you using? Are there any parameters that you don't want mentioned in this? And what kind of structure of the output do you want? Are you looking for details, a script? Are you looking for short paragraphs? Are you looking to have something explained to you? So this one is probably my favorite framework. There are many frameworks out there. But one of the things that they say is that prompt engineering is one thing teachers and students should be doing or already know how to do. So this is just an acronym to help you remember what all to input into your chat bot prompting. Okay. And remember, the more you put in, the more information you put in, the better your output is going to be. This is another one, and this one is for teachers and students, the 5S model. We're not going to spend much time on it, but I wanted you to have access to this because it is a good resource to have. One of my favorite educators is Eric Kurtz. Eric, I'm 90% sure Eric is going to be at AETC this summer. He is so amazing. He is a Google educator. He has his own class. Just a regular teacher, but he is amazing and he shares everything. He already has prompts. If you click on this Edu Gems inside of Gemini, and Gemini is my go-to chat bot. Chat GPT is a thing of the past for me. I use Gemini for everything. But he came up with, if you have little collections of history of your chats, they're called gems. And he already prompted lots of gems. So if you click on this, well, in the right spot, I don't know why mine is not clicking. It's not working. There we go. Just had to click in the right spot. But he's already got tons of gems already created. So let's say that you're looking for a lesson plan and you've got everything, you just don't have the hook, or you just don't have the bell ringer, or you don't have the exit ticket. He's got things already prompted out for you. So let's click on lesson hooks. He's got all kinds of different descriptions that you can use to help you come up with that information. And I just clicked on the gem link, and this takes you out to Gemini. Share some things we can work on together based on our chats, make it catchy, and use emojis. So these are things that he has already put in, but it's structured so you're able to use that as an example when you're going in to craft your prompt. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. Some pre-made gems. And I guess you have to click on the diamond. Yes, double click to interact. All right, so let's get to, did you know that Canva has magic in it, and Canva has Magic Write? So I'm going to go to the home page and open a brand new doc. So I'm going to say create, and I want a digital doc. So in this doc, you will see, and at first, when I first started using Canva docs, I'm like, ain't no way. I am not going to use this. I'm going to use Google forever and ever. Amen. Right? And then I started using it, and now I can't stop. Like, it is so good. But let's just say, remember that standard? Let's see if it's still on the clipboard. And I'm going to go here to Magic Write. I can also click on the plus sign where it says Quick Actions, and I can get to Magic Write that way too. But I'm going to go here, Magic Write, and I'm going to paste in that standard. And what do you know? She's still there. And I'm just going to say, create a 30-minute lesson plan for fourth graders. I didn't say that was the aim, right? Or the participants. And I need to say act as a fourth grade science teacher. And
Highly qualified science teacher.
qualified.
Highly qualified.
I'm not putting that. And gathering, and this is my standard, using this standard. And remember how long ago I copied that, but it was still on my invisible clipboard. Okay, so and this is the standard that I want to use. And I'm also going to say, also add some collaborative activities with minimal materials. If there's one thing I can't do, it is spell. And I think I've got everything that I want, and I'm going to hit that generate button and watch the magic happen. And I've put in as much as I know that I want this lesson plan to be. And it might take a minute, but calm down because it's doing the work for you, right? And here is the beginning of my lesson plan. It's telling me the materials I need, the objective that we're going to teach. Here comes my introduction of how I can hook my students. And then it's going to start asking how to activate prior knowledge. It's going to give you direct instruction. It's going to give you that 10-minute collaborative activity, how to use guided support, and also how to reflect, sharing and discussions, reflection questions that they may need to know, and what kind of assessments. So if I like that, I can say insert this, and now this is in my document, and I have a lesson plan already there for me. So imagine that you get sick, you have to leave 5th period, but you need something and you didn't have what you were going to do written out. This would be a great way to get something quick. But that is on Magic Write. Okay. I know I'm getting close to running out of time, so I do want to make sure that you see these other things. Look here under yours either says, what will you teach today or what will you learn today? You could be a student in someone else's class, so it may say learn. If you go down here to the little profile picture, that's where you can change your account. You may need to get out of one team and sign into another. But this is how you know which account you're in. Mine says, what do you teach? So I know I'm in my educator account. And everybody can get this for free, the premium version for free. You just have to verify you're an educator with your school ID or your pay stub. So if you go to templates right here, look at all the things that are already made for you. And if you scroll over, there are lesson plan templates. These could possibly just be profile lesson plan designs. But I'll show you in a minute where you can see some other things. Here's some worksheets, presentations, and these are templates, okay? But if you go right here to Classroom, there is a button that says Magic Activities. If you click on that, you can ask right here. I'm going to put that standard in. It's still there. I'm going to delete these numbers because I don't need them. And this is grade 4. And this is science. And my learning purpose is for them to just understand, grab the core concept of this. And I'm going to ask it to create a lesson plan that is 60 minutes for 4th graders. And remember, the more you put in, the better your output will be. So this is actually going to create activities. Okay, so it says, I have created you a research and analyze unit. I have created a Venn diagram for you. I have also created an identify cause and effect. So I'm going to choose that one and say, yeah, generate the materials for that. And then it's going to land right here. Okay, so it's coming up with activities and resources, some worksheets that you can assign to your students. And by doing this, it's creating you a little folder. These folders can be found under projects. When you're like, oh my gosh, I know I made that. Where did it go? It will fall under projects in your classroom. Okay. So if I go over here to projects, I should see that folder. One of these, I can't see. Let's see. Where was that little button that says show me? On make sure I'm in the right place. There it is. Energy and resources. Okay, now this is what I wanted to show you. This is where my work, my resources landed. Okay. I can share this with students inside of a classroom environment. And if I choose resource, I can share this with you all and you can see it, but it's editable by everyone. Okay. So what I am saying is I would choose solo work because it's going to make a copy for every student. Now, this is quite the learning curve, and I am telling you that I worked with a group of teachers for us to teach ourselves how to use this. So I can go here to assign, and of course the little Zoom buttons in the way, assign lesson, and I can choose who to give this to, or I can create a new class. Okay. And then I would go through the different prompts that it says. And it's basically, if I hit this, I'm assigning this to a group of people that will say, what are you doing? We are finished with that PLU. Please stop. So I'm not going to make anybody panic and make them think they've got more work, but that's all you do. I'll also show you another way. And remember that that is still there. If you go back to your home page, go to projects, find that work, and you see how I have to keep going back to find it to share. I don't like that. And that's something we need to share with Canva, that it needs to be like the first thing. And maybe it is that one that says private. I'm not sure. But if I go in here, I can also go to share and share this way and share this link. Allow view access. So I did that. And now I can, it says the link is updated. So now I could possibly put that link in the chat and you could see what was created. Okay. There is another way. Let me go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Go home. And let's say that I want to share this with you. The only reason you would do this, what I'm showing you next, is if you wanted everybody to collaborate on this session, like this slide deck. So I would go here to share and see right here where it says learning session. This is brand new. When you click on that, I can start a learning session with this project. And if you go to canva.com/ABC and put in this code, it will share that entire presentation with you. But fair warning, if you do it this way, meaning the people that get it, will have access to delete and edit. So unless it is a collaborative project, do not press that button. Okay. You would just instead go to assign. And assign means that every student is going to receive their own individual copy. Okay. Oh, Pernell, I only have 5 minutes and so much more. What in the world? Part 2. All
Always.
right. One more thing and then we'll stop and you can look at the rest of it. But I do want to show you Canva code of how you can create your own. And this is a presentation inside of a presentation. But if you go into Canva, and I'm going to do that, you see right here where it says Canva code. I can go to this that says code, and you probably would never press that if you were not in a training. And I can go here and say, remember that what I copied on the clipboard? I'm going to paste that in. Whoops, nope, I've copied to something else, didn't I? So let's see if I have. All right, I'm gonna say create an arcade-like game for my fourth graders and their multiplication, if I can spell, I can't, multiplication math facts to play a game like Space Invaders. Make it colorful. Now, this is not going to be great because my prompt's not great. But remember, the better the prompt, the better the quality of what you will get. And notice I can make a grocery list. I can make certificates. I can do quizzes. I've actually seen a math teacher, or no, a science teacher that did 3 different quizzes, an easy quiz, a medium quiz, and a hard quiz. And he let the kids choose which one they wanted to do, which I thought was genius, because they're all going to pick the easy one, but make it the hardest. And when I click that, it's going to say, I'm thinking, and I'm going to create a Space Invader style game. And then you can sit here and watch it code. So far, I know that it's going to have these fonts, these colors. These are the multiplication problems. Those are the answers. So I'm actually looking at it code. Okay, and then when it gets finished, you will have a working slide, also a working website. So I had a group of high school teachers, and one of them was a driver's ed teacher. And the next time that I met with that group, he said, you wouldn't believe the games that I have created for my kids. And every time they come to class, they say, did you make us a new game? Because we love them. So, and you can save them. So here it is. Here's my Math Blasters game. And I can start the game. And then I actually have to put it in. Okay. But if I wanted to, I could give it better instructions and have it create something different. I've seen some teachers make some incredible things, and I just simply put something in that was just lame. Imagine if you really took the time to write an incredible prompt exactly the way you wanted it to look, and then you can use it in a design, and you can say you want to use it in a presentation. And if you want to put this in every single presentation that you have, you just copy it, Command or Control C, and paste it right into another. So if I open this, I can just paste it right in, and it will always work. No matter what I put it in, it will always work. And then I can also go to, if I can find the page, I can also say that I want this to be published as a website, and there's my site URL, and click publish. Is preparing the website. And now when my kids visit it, it takes them to an actual standalone website where that game lives. Is that not incredible? Crazy. Okay, that is all we have time for. I don't want to keep you any longer. I would love to sit here and talk to you for 2 more hours, but if you have questions, ask them in the chat, email me. I'll be glad to answer anything you've got.